So we're gonna watch a little bit of this Happy Wife School. I love this lady. She is
She's
on
cool.
it. Huh?
Yeah, she's cool.
She is cool. She is on it with these women. Same thing I'll be talking about. So it ain't just, we know it ain't just black women, like, as you know, as we know, it's women in general. So
Ah, you ain't tell me that's what the title's gonna be.
what? We gonna say she got let her show it, and she gonna explain herself. So we'll go off of this.
So I'm not condoning or telling good men to lie, but helping women and good men to understand that as women, you'll hear this many times today, that we are not emotionally mature enough to handle the responsibility of knowing the truth. So how do we understand that both as women and good men and find what works in the relationship? It's not good or bad. We literally are wired differently, and we literally live in two different realities. Good men must know you cannot trust your wife with the truth, and yet there are times you are going to need to share the truth, and we'll talk about how to do that for good men and how as women to handle that. But good men need to see the reality of their wife and understand the dynamics in your marriage so that you are not duped by your wife, that you are supposed to be completely transparent, which is what we gaslight you to think you should do, but you can't. And this is for us as women to understand our differences, accept them, and find a path forward in the marriage that works. As I shared, I'm not emotionally mature enough and in my wiring as a woman to handle all the truths my husband might tell me. And I have a very, very honest husband that knows, and if was with me today, would tell you he overshares. He's an oversharer. He knows that. And I have to embrace it to make me stronger, but I can't always handle everything he tells me. And there's plenty that I would rather not know. And when we can embrace that and know that about ourselves as women, we can get out of our fantasy and wrong thinking that we need to know every little thing and every deep thought or fear or feeling from our husbands, and embrace our differences and find that dance and actually create a safe environment when something does need to be shared, that we can put on our big girl pants, find the emotional maturity in us, and work through it and not weaponize it against our husbands. 5 reasons a good man should not be honest with his wife. And knowing that there are caveats to this and not condoning lying, but understanding our differences as women and good men. Number 1, women weaponize the truth and vulnerabilities of their husbands. We will use a good man's vulnerabilities and truth as ammunition as to why our husbands can't be trusted, which results the response of a good man to his wife, knowing his truths and vulnerabilities are used as ammunition against him. Your honesty and vulnerability will be perceived by your wife as hurtful and wrong for who she is. So, for example, a good man is a problem solver. He would like to share with his wife his challenges in the marriage and relationship, and his experience of her. And some of you listening have done this by sharing a video or two with your wife. Say you bring up to your wife, women conflate what you do and associate it with something totally unrelated. And again, please, the men listening, share example in the chats or comments of how you've told your wife one thing and then she turns it into a totally separate issue and conflates the truth you are telling her. And we will say, if you did this, how can I trust you over here with that? And just blow it up to be so much bigger than what it is. your truth into our victim story as why we are so unhappy. We twist your truth into our victim story as why we are so unhappy. So in this one, we might pretend we are okay with what you share. I'll give an example in a moment. But then we use it to weave it into our victim story to blame you of why we are so unhappy. But a term I use, happy pill it, meaning stuff it down, shove it, pretend everything is okay, and never tell our husbands how we feel.
Okay, I cut those short so we didn't watch because it's a 13 minutes, so I might watch the rest of that by myself. But how are you feeling about that?
Hot. Ow. Very true. I don't have a rebuttal for it. No. I don't have a
Yeah,
rebuttal. I think it's very true.
yeah, it is a painful truth. Watching her stuff makes me feel so, you know what I mean? Because it be so true.
Yeah, and it's I think it's unfair. Not what she's saying, but I
Mhm.
think that the way we have been raised, I don't think it's necessarily wired, but I don't think it's
Mm-mm.
just wired. I think it's also how we've grown up and
Yeah,
the things that we've seen on TV and the things, social media, movies, the everything has been designed to cater to women's feelings. And we're all taught and trained
yeah,
if it hurts our feelings, it's bad. If we don't feel good, it's bad. And I think that's why we got, women who either break up or get divorced. That, oh, I wasn't happy. He didn't happiness. Like it's the feelings and everything, everyone we talk to, everything we watch is designed to tell us that it's supposed to feel good.
yeah.
So I think it's unfair because hey, that's how they told us we were supposed to be. And it's hard to just immediately like turn it off
Hmm.
after your entire life. Oh,
That's pretty cool. I don't
I
know.
don't even know how that did that,
I
but
don't know, but it's awesome.
but it's hard to like immediately just turn it off, especially if you like do enter a relationship or if you do enter certain friendships where you guys are honest with each other. It is hard to just turn it off if after your entire life everything has told you that everything's supposed to make you feel good. Like that doesn't it's not gonna happen overnight, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, it's the truth because as you know, your father is a very honest man, and I love that about him. I don't necessarily always appreciate it in the moment,
Yeah.
but I don't have to wonder what he's thinking. I don't have to wonder how he's feeling. I don't have to wonder, oh, is he really telling me how he really feels? Because he lets me know how he really feels.
Yeah.
I don't, so any compliments he gives me, I know they're absolutely genuine. I don't have to wonder, oh, is he just saying that 'cause he trying to get whatever?
Yeah.
I know he absolutely means it. So that's the pro to that.
Mhm.
The con to it, like she said, women immediately go into victim mode. Like when I did that about with Melissa Ford, where she was like, "Oh, how could you ever say that to someone that you love, that no one ever love me the way you love me?" He wasn't lying because she jumped from she left him to get with a big ape nigga, and then he whooping her tail.
Yeah.
So but that's the only thing she could say that he did wrong.
Mhm.
She said she could not say anything else he did that offended her.
Yeah.
And that is the thing is that everybody want to be talked to like they Snow White.
Yeah,
And
because it sounds so great. And it
yeah,
feels so good.
yeah, yeah. But then you get the ones that's talking to you like you Snow White, and they end up being the witch in the end,
Yeah.
giving you the poison apple, grinning in your face.
Oh yeah.
And and I like she said, I'm not like she said, you don't want to condone men lying, but she's basically putting into perspective why men can't
Mhm.
be honest with women. And yeah, it's a sad truth to some degree, but I believe my mission is to change women's mindset about that all in general,
Yeah.
because I believe this is one of many reasons why men cheat, why men are killing themselves. Why men got to stay drunk? Because they feel like they have to constantly stuff down their true feelings to not offend the woman,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
keep her happy, because they know, oh, if I tell her she, she don't need to be doing this or doing that, she's going to withhold sex. Like, it's a punishment.
Yeah.
Women will use the sex to punish the man for being truthful. um I no longer do that. I'm so past that. It's ridiculous. I have, that's, I'm on a different level with that. But this is what is happening in a lot of marriages. So men, remember I told you, Riri was like, yeah, my friend said his girlfriend's father told him, don't be honest. Like, don't be honest with your girlfriend. And he was so puzzled. But it's like, people have to realize that's what's working for their relationship.
Yeah. And even I'm starting to learn, even when it comes to having female, I don't have very many, Lord, thank God, but having the female friends that I do have, even then you can't even really be honest. And it's like you're
Yeah.
also a woman too, so it's kind of a reflection of you. When
Hmm.
you see your female friends and you also feel like you can't tell them certain things,
Hmm.
like if they're bragging, like, oh, I want a man to trick on me, and I want a man to do X, Y, and Z, and then you just have in your heart that you really have something to say against that,
Yeah.
but then you know how they're going to react, so you kind of just like, I'm gonna just let you
Bite your
have
tongue.
that. Yeah. So it's like it kind of makes you not fully understand, of course, what men feel, but it does make you like see like, oh, this is why they be lying. This is why they don't say anything, because if we react in this, or how they react is like, it's like, oh, okay, makes
Yeah.
sense.
And me and your dad talk about this a lot. We as a society are rewarded for lying.
Yeah.
People are tortured and punished for honesty
Mm-hmm.
in general. Not
Yeah.
just men to women, but I think in general, people are punished for being honest.
Mm-hmm.
People hate authentic people that just say what they feel. Those people
Yep.
are hated. They're
Oh yeah.
ostracized. You know what I mean? You're you're
Yeah.
you're you're talked about. You're side eye. Like, what's wrong with you being telling me your true feelings? And it gives people an opportunity to really know who you are. But that tells me people don't really want to be known.
Yeah.
They want to be liked.
Oh yeah, because yeah, that's what it is. And it's I'm lost my train of thought, but when it comes to it's like one minute it's like, why can't people just be honest? Why can't people just be real? Why do people gotta lie? And XYZ. And then as soon as someone is whether it is right or wrong, as soon as
Yeah.
someone is expressing, showing, oh, this is who I am, this is how I talk, this is what I think, this is what I believe, then it's
Yeah.
immediately like, oh no, we can't have this. They racist. They
Mm,
liars, they misogynistic, and it's like, oh, this is why people lie, because it's like I say, you get liked when you lie.
yeah. That's so hard. Like, how do we change that? We got to change that. We got to change
I
that.
don't think it's ever going to change, just
No.
because it's like, no, I mean, it might be like, it might get better, Lord willing, but I don't think it's ever going to change to a point where everyone could truly be honest, because it's always going to be those group of people who think that their feelings matter than anything else in the
Better
world.
than
Like, there's
anyone.
always going to be people who think that the world revolves around them. And so if you're not catering to their feelings, then it's like, it's going to be a problem. I need to turn all these reaction thingies off. You see,
How
I
do
put
you
my thumbs up and it popped up. I don't even know.
how do you do that? How do
I
you have
don't
this
know.
set up
It
like that?
wasn't on purpose. But but yeah, I think there's always going to be that group of people, whether man and or woman, who just like think that everything should cater to their feelings.
Yeah.
Especially how it's going to be a constant generational teaching,
Yeah.
especially now with social media, and that's not going to go away. It's only going to progress. And it's just going to be a constant generational teaching of, it has to make you feel good.
Yeah.
It has to make you feel good. If you
Yeah.
don't feel good about it, then it's wrong and it's bad. Like, I don't think it's ever gonna go away. It's not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah. I just think I think if we raise up a generation of people comfortable with themselves,
Mhm.
comfortable with honest people, comfortable with being honest. I think it can change over time. I do. I think if we set enough people on fire to just be honest about their true feelings, regardless of if it's right or wrong, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter. It's like if even if I'm wrong, this is how I feel. It is what it is. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't hide from God. Why am I hiding from people?
Yeah.
God already sees. So what am I? Who am I trying to impress? But like you said, people want to be liked. People um don't want to really be known. And I know that that's a huge reason why a lot of people don't want to be in real lasting relationships, because you be around somebody long enough, that person knows you.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
That person knows you, sees you, smells all the funk they see and everything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people run from that.
Yeah. Because you get to start over and pretend to be someone else with someone new. Say, oh, that last person, they knew way too much about me, and they was able to, and then I just saw a lot of myself or that I needed to change. So I'm just gonna, you know, it's easier to
Yeah.
start over.
I mean, and the reality is people grow up when, the longer you're with someone, you get to see people mature. Hopefully, Lord willing, that's the goal, is to see people mature. And then you with them long enough, after a few years, they like they somebody different anyway. so
Yeah.
so you gotta use your imagination. Like you gotta be yeah, you gotta have an imagination to keep things going.